Java, I mean, overall, it's incredibly safe. I felt really safe the whole time I was there. I mean, of course, there's obviously going to be your rare exceptions, but for the most part, I was very comfortable in day to day. I always kept my wallet in my top pocket because I was afraid of pickpockets, but that's about the extent of it. But yeah, Java, it's unique culture because there's mostly two different groups, two different cultures that are there. So you have the Sundanese, who are in the southwest part of Java, and then the Javanese people who are in the rest of it. And they each have their language, and some of them only know that language. And so that was really interesting to me, to meet people who couldn't speak my mission language. And so trying to talk with them, discuss with them, it was so much harder. But yeah, for the most part, they're very humble people, very calm, easygoing. So everyone there loves soccer. They love fried foods. And I guess for the culture, they rice with every meal, always rice. And so even for breakfast, they'll have rice, but usually it's watered down. They call that bubur. And so, yeah, most of them work in the city. They work in the jobs. There are skyscrapers. It's a very urbanized, densely populated city. And so they'll work in offices and so forth. And a lot of people in the surrounding cities also travel to Jakarta on the trains and buses to get there, to work in these office jobs. But then a lot of other people, they have their own little shops on the side. And so a lot of the women, they run what's called a warung or a warteg. And so wartegs usually sell food. And so they've already got all their home-cooked foods that they've made, and then you show up and say, oh, I want this, and they give it to you, always with rice. And the warungs, they have all sorts of things. And so usually like little snack foods, they have cigarettes there, and that's usually what they sell, is cigarettes and snacks. And soaps, hygiene stuff sometimes. But for the most part, that's what I noticed a lot of people did. And then in different parts of Java, they have, especially outside of Jakarta, they have the people who go around on these, I don't even know what to call them in English. It's the bicycles, where you have something mounted on the bicycle that you sell from, basically, or the carts that they ride around. And so a lot of them make their living by making some sort of food, and they go around the streets selling it all day. Usually they'll have like a jingle, or they'll have something that oh, that guy selling this is out there, let's go get it. A lot of people do work for the cruise industry. So if you meet a chef on the cruise line, or if you talk to someone who's working on the ship, they're probably from Indonesia. I was actually shocked how many people, oh yeah, my brother works on the cruise. Oh, or my son, he's working on the cruise right now. And so that's something that happens. But as for interesting places to see, like Java is just such a rich culture. It's got so much. And so some of the places that I enjoyed visiting was a place called Jogja, or Jogjakarta. And it's a special province, and the Javanese king is the governor of that province. So it's pretty cool. And it's got so much to do. There's this one street called Malioboro, and it sells anything Javanese that you could ever wish for. And it's incredible. And so my favorite is we'd have zone conferences down in Jogja, and so we'd take the train, and as we're waiting for the train to go back to the town we were serving in at the time, which was Solo, we'd walk down Malioboro and we'd talk to people. It was great. And other places that are cool, one of my favorites it was one of the cities I served in, Bogor, and they have this thing called Taman Safari. And from what I've heard, it's a common thing that you go up and you can drive around in front of the animals. And so they have tigers and lions just walking in this caged thing, and you're driving right in between them. So it's way awesome. As for other interesting things that you can do in Java, most people, if they go to they use Jakarta and they just jump straight to Bali. So that's a separate island. But yeah, I just loved it mostly for its culture. There's just so much to learn about these people and why they do the things they do and how it all works.